This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Reds fans? Welcome to another edition of the POSTCAST brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network. My name is Tim Daniel. I am a lifelong suffering Reds fan who has been podcasting about this team for 5 years at publications such as Late Night Reds and the Riverfront. And if you're here with me tonight, you're just as sad as I am watching this baseball team play right now as the Reds absolutely choke a game today against the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-2. If you're just checking me out for the first time, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here, though I'm sorry that this is the circumstance you're here on. If you're just checking my show out for the first time, thank you so much for spending some time with me, and be sure to hit that notification button here on YouTube or on your podcast app of choice. You can not only get my show after each and every Reds game, but you can get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. This episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. On today's show, unbelievable, trash, disgusting, embarrassing, humiliating. We're going to go through all the emotions there. Chase Burns was really freaking awesome. He deserved better. And the offense, unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's embarrassing at this point. We're going to dive into it, and I'm sure there's going to be some people in here with some really nice things to say, and I don't know, maybe you guys can try to make me feel better. I don't know. Let's do it.
This is what you'll be talking about.
You cannot lose 2 in a row to the Pittsburgh Pirates. You absolutely, positively, no way, shape, or form, no way in hell can lose 2 or 3 to the Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't care at this point who's on the mound. They got their guy out of the way. You had this game won, and you didn't do it. And where you did improve the team, I like the moves they made. I do. You let the bullpen out again. And I get it. Nick Lodolo's hurt, and so Nick Martinez has got to go back to the rotation. This is embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. There are so many things here. Thank you, Laura. That's at least made me funny. Laura said we may need a thesaurus. There's so many things about this game where it's just irritating. And my big focus I'm going to do here, because my big comment I'm going to make is not necessarily because I don't want to bury my lead about the other two situations here and the other 2 segments, but I appreciate what they did to get the team better, but they still had a big gaping hole in the bullpen. They overused their guys. They were well aware their guys were overused, and they're like, we're just going to run the same guys out there. And all the respect in the world, Tony Santillan. I'm not blaming him for losing this game. I don't blame him one bit. But you had to know at some point they were going to get struck. What purpose is Emilio Pagan doing right now if he's not pitching? Because you're not winning games. If you had gone at the beginning of the week, going into this week, the team you thought they would have struggled with was the Cubs, right? You would have thought the Cubs would be the team they struggle with, and they take care of business against the Pirates. Nope. Even if you win the next 2 games and you still leave with a winning record on this road trip, you still did not get the job done. You still flat out missed the chances you need. I don't know what it's going to take for them to make a run here. I don't see it. I mean, Tommy Thrall was saying today he felt like they haven't hit their stride yet. I don't know if they have a stride, because if this is the offense performance they're going to keep putting up, since the trade deadline, they have put up 27 total runs. 11 of those were in 1 game. That's where we're at. And hey, they've won what, 3 games in that time frame? So they're like 3-4. And they scored 27 runs. So 7 games, 27 runs, but it's the additional things. It's the inability to find a way to get that big hit. And I'm so sick of it. And this whole, we didn't need a thump thing. We're doing fine without homers. We're not doing fine without homers, by the way. I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again. I now am starting to understand more and more why Austin Hayes was available when the Reds got him that late in the offseason. I don't see it. I mean, tonight, if it wasn't a ground ball, it was a strikeout. I don't see any purpose he's giving this team right now. What is he doing for this team? And I keep hearing this thing where it's like, he's showing shines, he's going to break out. What signs is Austin Hayes showing you every day that you're like, all right, it's coming. Like, it's going to be fine. It's not there. And I'm not too pissed off at TJ Friedel. Like, he was bound to have a bad game. He's been really good for basically since he came back from having his baby. And today, you know, it was bound to happen. Shout out Gavin Lux. Gavin Lux was really good today. He was really good, and I was really pleased with that. Again, 6 hits in this series. He deserves better. I'm going to go deep into Chase Burns here in this segment, but Gavin Lux has 6 hits in these 2 games against the Pirates, and they have 2 losses. I don't know. And one thing Sam LeCure said today that I do agree with, going back to Austin Hayes, is when he's hitting, it seems like Ellie's hitting, and it seems like teams aren't as afraid of Ellie when the guys around him aren't doing anything. And Adrian says it here. It's time to move Gavin Lux to the 4-hole. I don't know if they have a 4-hole hitter right now. I really don't. Like, that's the issue with this team. Like, can you imagine having a 25-30 home run threat behind Ellie De La Cruz every day? That changes just about everything in the lineup. They don't have one of those. And for when someone comes in here and says it's CES or Will Benson, it's not those guys. They've had their chances to be those guys, and they haven't done it. And I love Will Benson. Absolutely love Will Benson. I don't know. But, you know, Greg says it here. Spencer Steer in the 4-hole. I'm all for it. Adrian says, bring me Schwarber. I don't think he's ever coming here. Would I love it? Yes. It would be freaking perfect to have him here. But I highly doubt he's coming here. He's on a good baseball team. He probably doesn't want to leave that. Lane says, would Benson do any worse? No, probably not. But I don't know. I think I can't say like I'm too mad at how Fraley's performed. I would like to see him be better for sure, obviously, but there's some things here that they did tonight that didn't make sense. I mean, Max says right here, nail on the head. Why play Espinal instead of Steer first base? Yes. Okay. This is a great point, Max. Thank you. I was waiting for my, like, what am I going to like let it all out moment? You hit this, you hit the nail, Max. You hit it. I didn't even think about that. Your guy who's like going to be a threat for a Gold Glove at first base, I understand gets the day off, but in a close, it's 2-1, and you're going to Santiago Espinal to play first base. That's bad managing. Yeah, that's what that is. But you know what? We try to move on. We see if we can just like somehow split this series, because that's all they got at this point. And that's a darn shame. It's a darn shame for a team that's apparently, you know, they're now 4 games out behind the Mets. I mean, behind everyone for the wild card spot. And the Mets, last I checked, are beating the Brewers right now as I slam my phone on the ground. You know, here's where we're at. So, you know who was really good tonight, though, and deserved much better than his team gave him, is Chase Burns. And we're going to talk about Chase Burns and more right after this. We've all been there, logging on early and waiting forever for concert tickets to go on sale, only to lose your spot for a show you've been dying to see. Live music should be about making memories, not dealing with the stress of ticket shopping. That's where Gametime comes in. Gametime makes getting concert tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually drop as it gets closer to showtime, and you can save up to 60% off with their killer last-minute deals. Are you tired of endless scrolling trying to find the best deal? Gametime's zone deals pick the best seats in the section for you. Take the guesswork out of buying concert and showtime tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLD for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. This episode is also brought to you by PrizePicks, the daily fantasy platform that lets you turn your football predictions into real rewards. Preseason is already heating up, and hopefully you took Shedeur Sanders tonight over touchdowns, because apparently he made his impressions. And college football isn't far behind. It's the perfect time to lock in your season-long, more or less picks for the 2025 football season, all before week 1 kicks off. Whether you've got your eye on big-name quarterbacks like Joe Burrow or breakout running backs like Chase Brown, PrizePicks makes it easy to get in the game. I've made a few of my picks. I took Joe Burrow over touchdowns. Feel like that's going to be an easy one as well. I've used PrizePicks for a few seasons now and love how simple it is. I can get a lineup in before my coffee finishes brewing. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, run your game. This has been a crappy couple days, but whenever they live with that, I still love that I get to hang out with my everydayers here and talk Reds baseball. And that's something that no matter how up and down the season goes, you guys have no idea how much I appreciate you all. So thank you so much for spending some time with me, even on cruddy days like this, when my favorite team loses to my least favorite team in the universe. If you are just checking me out here on the POSTCAST for the first time, please become an everydayer. Hit that notification button here on YouTube so you can not only get my show after each and every game, but you can get Jeff Carr and Stephen Offenbaker Monday through Friday on Locked on Reds as well. And those two guys said today, they had to win this game. This game was something where they absolutely had to win, and they didn't do it. And the worst part is, they lost it in the 9th.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
That was really bad. They lost in the 8th. Sorry. When Bryan Reynolds hits a ball down the first base line and gets into the gap, and Noelvi Marte doesn't field it correctly, which I'm not too pissed off at Noelvi Marte. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say it. That's a weird indented corner there. He's still learning right field. I think he's going to be a really good right fielder, honestly. I do. Let's talk about Chase Burns, because, man, if we're going to have some good things to talk about today, let's talk about the kid. We just watched Paul Skeens yesterday do the damn thing, and Chase Burns today was awesome, wasn't he? I mean, he was so freaking good. And certainly, should I say my line? Do you guys have like a bingo card at home who like things Tim's for sure going to say? Because I'm pretty sure like the free spot in the middle is pitcher gave team chance to win. He did everything possible for the Reds to win this game today. Everything possible. 6 innings, only 3 hits, 1 earned run, only 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. Dude, he was lights out. And he got himself in a couple jams and got out of it. I mean, it was fantastic. I'll tell you what. The inning where he gives up the run in the 4th, he gives up the run. There's no outs. O'Neal Cruz is on second base. He doesn't let anything happen from there. That was just as impressive to me as in the 5th when he gets that quick 1-2-3 inning. I think this guy is going to be, I mean, we all feel it, right? We all feel like this is the dude, right? Like, and we know it's the dude, and he's going to be incredible. And it sounds like Hunter's coming back next week. That's reassuring. Sounds like this Nick Lodolo thing isn't super serious. You've got Zach Littell. I mean, the rotation is the one positive thing we have to talk about, except for yesterday, which I'm not. That was just a bad Brady Singer game. I'm not giving up on Brady Singer. But what they got from Burns today, you have to win that game against that offense every time you get a game like that. You can't let that game go. You can't spoil that. He gave you 1 run ball and you couldn't do anything with it. That's awful. That's awful. Chad Love says it here. Reds have talent, just need to add to the lineup. Just frustrating. Yes, it's absolutely frustrating. William, an everydayer, says Chase Burns did his job, but the Reds bat didn't do much. Besides pitching, they've got to have hitting to really win, but hitting hasn't been there lately. I agree. And Merksy says pitching doesn't matter when we can't score runs and blow every opportunity we have to do so. Hey, I'm not disagreeing with any of that. You're absolutely right. But with Chase Burns being as great as he was, he's obviously got to be the locked on player of the game today.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Branch says it here too. I'm ready to trade pitching in the offseason at offense. If they don't, I don't know what to do. Because I don't know if you guys have looked at the free agent market for hitters next year. It's not very good. You're looking at potentially signing more Austin Hayes and Tommy Phams. I don't know. After today, I might be fine with bringing Miguel Andujar back. He got on base 3 times and then got replaced. Oh, Gavin Lux had 3 hits today and then got replaced. I love Tito. I think Tito's done some really good things for this team, but he's had some bad moments. Like, I thought the lineup setup today was really good today. I love the idea of having Andujar right behind Lux. Like, I dare you to bring a lefty in to face Lux because you got to face 3 batters. Thought that was great. Thought that was really smart thinking. Other than that, in-game decisions weren't the best today. And we're going to go through here and kind of talk about the offense because they cannot find a way to get hits. And the way that they are who they are, we all know it. They're not going to go out there and hit 2-3 homers in a game. They are a string hits together, make something happen team. And they aren't doing that. By the way, Miguel Andujar getting thrown out at home. Did we think that was going to play as big of a difference as it did? Yes. And they couldn't find a way to still get anything going either. I don't know. But something has to click at some point for these guys. Something really has to click at some point. And I see this every day. Lauren says it here. Really big mistake sending Will Benson down. I love Will Benson. I do. But we're doing the thing again. We're doing the thing we did with Todd Frazier, with all these guys where it's like they have some really great moments and they're really fun guys to root for. And we think they're a difference maker. Numbers don't lie. I love Will Benson. I want him to be on this team every day. But, he's had some chances that he hasn't really taken care of. Johnny says it here as well. So the Andujar play there. Top of the second, bases loaded, no outs. They get 1 run. Greg says it right here. 39th game, they scored 2 or fewer runs. I'm just letting you guys run the show for me today because I'm running out of things to say, just how poor this team has played of late. Sam says here, Reds are just the Pirates with slightly more offense, good pitching, a poor offense. The Pirates are just poorer. Are they, though? Are they? Do they just make terrible decisions all the time with the people they sign? I don't know, man. But I think I did my raging yesterday, and today I'm just numb after that game. So it's a sucky loss. But they, I guess, try to find a way to win Saturday and Sunday, even though your mission was a failure on this road trip, even with taking 2 out of 3 from the Cubs. But with that being said, the Reds lose today 3-2 to the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates have 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors. The Reds have 2 runs on 8 hits and no errors as well. Your winning pitcher tonight is Kyle Nicholas. He picks up his first win of the season. Tony Santillan takes his 4th loss of the year. He's now 1-4. And Danny Santana, who was a guy who, by the way, the Reds were rumored to be interested on. I got the save against him today. But the Reds are back at it tomorrow. Oh, the lockdown pipe. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Why are you coming here and rubbing this in my face? Hey now. Come on. Why you gotta be like that? I'm already in a bad enough mood. I'm already numb. And then our Locked On Pirates guys had to come and say, haha. The Reds are in the right for that to happen, though. Let's be fair. So cheers to our Locked On Pirates guys. I'm sure they have some really fun things to say about this series as well. I know they're enjoying it far more than we are. But Nick Martinez takes the hill for the Reds tomorrow. He is 9-9 with a 4.66 ERA. Locked On Pirates, while you're here real quick, I don't have the starter for tomorrow according to the MLB app. Are they bullpen day or do they have a starter tomorrow? But regardless, first pitch is at 6:40. I'll be on regular time as well. I'm Tim Daniel. Everyone, thank you so much for spending some time with me. Have a great night. Don't let the Reds ruin your Friday like they already ruined mine. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take it easy, everyone.